Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Fan Perspective. I am your host Nathan Lyle, here with another 2013 NBA Playoffs Round 1 recap between the number 6 Atlanta Hawks and the number 3 Indiana Pacers. In Game 1, the Hawks took a 6-0 lead to start the game, and it was all Pacers after that. They controlled the entire game in what was a very physical contest. Every Pacers starter had double-digit points, and Paul George had a triple-double, 23 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds. The Pacers cruised to an easy 107-90 victory. And then in Game 2, Paul George continues to dominate as he led the team with 27 points. George Hill busted a few threes and tallied a total of 22 points in the game. Atlanta really stepped up their game for this matchup, and they got balanced scoring from their starters and a great contribution from their bench. Unfortunately, the Pacers were able to match their intensity every step of the way, and they take a 2-0 lead in the series, winning with 113-98. And then in Game 3, the series shifted back to Atlanta. The Hawks made a lineup change which seemed to help spark them. Another physical game with great defense from both teams led to very poor shooting night for the Pacers, who shot 27% from the field, 16% from three-point range. It's hard to win when you have as many field goals as you do turnovers. Al Horford led the Hawks with 26 points and 16 rebounds as Atlanta wins 90-69. And then in Game 4, once again, the Hawks defense stifled the Pacers. Paul George led the way with 21 points and 12 rebounds, while Lance Stevenson nearly had a triple-double. He had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Every starter scored double digits, but there was minimal contribution from the bench, and the Pacers just could not stop the Hawks. Smith led the way with 29 points and 11 rebounds. Horford contributed 18, while Korver came off the bench to add 19, and the Hawks evened out the series with a 102-91 win. Then in Game 5, it went back to Indiana, and the change of venue seemed to be all they needed as the Pacers' defense limited Horford and Smith to 14 points each. The Pacers had 4 starters who each scored more points than both of those guys. And Paul George and George Hill both had double-doubles. Roy Hibbert was 1 rebound away from a double-double. Lance Stevenson was 1 made field goal away from a double-double. David West led the way with a game-high 24 points. And the Pacers won 106-83. And then in Game 6, both teams played good defense and both had poor shooting percentages. All but one starter for the Hawks scored in double digits. Paul George was limited to just 4 points, but he did contribute 7 rebounds and 7 assists, while George Hill and David West led the way with 21 points each, and the Pacers finished strong, winning 81-73, finishing off the series. They move on to Round 2, where they will face the New York Knicks. And a few milestones in this series. You're going to hear a lot of the same names repeated over and over again. Josh Smith has now made over 300 field goals in his playoff career. George Hill has now made over 40 three-pointers in the playoffs. Josh Smith has over 190 playoff free throws. Josh Smith and Al Horford have both have over 100 offensive rebounds in their playoff careers. Roy Hibbert has over 80. Al Horford and Josh Smith both have over 300 defensive rebounds. David West has over 230. Al Horford and Josh Smith have over 400 total rebounds for their playoff career, obviously. Josh Smith has over 60 career playoff steals. Al Horford and Roy Hibbert both have over 50 career playoff blocks. And Josh Smith now has over 80 career points for the playoffs. And for the Pacers, they move on to Round 2 where they will play the Knicks. So tune in for that. I'll put up that video. I'll record that in a little bit, upload it right after these. And for the Hawks, well, they've only got 3 players on the roster that are still under contract. So it looks like this team is just going to get completely blown up in the offseason. So to the Atlanta fans, good luck to you. It looks like the next few months are going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Hang in there.